Welcome to the Word 2016 module on inserting tables into your Word document. Now if you have a look at the document called tables.docx, you will notice that we have monthly sales tips on this document. And over here we've got our category, our CD sales and our tape sales. Now this would look a lot more professional if this particular section was tabularized. So what we do here is you can either take existing data and put it into a table, or you can create a new table and then put the information in. So let's look at both. If it's an existing information, you can simply select the information. On your menu on the Insert tab, you'll see there's an option that says Table. And you've got various options here. You've got the opportunity to draw the table, and in this case it's grayed out. And the reason for that is your information is pre-existing. If you didn't have pre-existing information, you would be able to draw the table yourself, which we'll show you in a second. So in this case, I'm going to say Draw Table. This will then automatically give me a little pencil where I can physically draw the table. The other alternative is to say Insert Table, and based on the information it'll choose the best layout possible in terms of how many rows and how many columns. Once you've then created the table, you'll notice that it is a table it has a little four-headed arrow at the top left. Also, when clicked on your table, you'll notice you've got two new menus at the top of your screen: Table Tools, Design, which handles all the design elements of your table, as well as Layout, which will handle additional elements to your table. So let's go through some of these. In the design aspect, we've got the table style options. So for example, do you want a header row? If you unselect that, it means that the style you've got for that particular table will no longer recognize that as a header row. So let me show you what I mean. If you go to your table styles group and we select a table style, that then uses the top row as our heading. If I had to unselect that header row, it'll then use the heading as the same formatted text as the rest of the table, so that it doesn't look like a heading. If you choose to have a total row, it'll automatically add that for you. Banded rows and banded columns means alternating in color columns. This banding makes it a lot easier to read. So if we remove it, that's what it looks like. And then first and last column is really just to highlight that particular column. So if I choose last column, you'll see it bolds the data. If I untick first column, it'll unbold the data. So it'll find, based on the style you've chosen, the best way to emphasize the first and the last column. And then you can also choose banded columns, which gives you that banded look, making it easier to read. In this case, I'm going to remove all the banded settings. Again, you can choose any table style that you want. And over here you can choose particular shading. So let's say I decided I want to change that particular one to another color. I can do so using my shading. Over here you've got border style options, which allows you to change the color of your borders, and you can draw specific border colors as you go. If you click on the layout menu, this gives you a whole lot of additional options to your table. You can choose to view the grid lines. In this case, you can see them very slightly over there, the little dotted ones. You can choose to draw additional lines using a manual draw table feature. You can choose to erase specific borders in cells. And then when you hit on the delete option, you can choose if you want to delete just a cell, a column, a row, or a table. If I wanted to insert a new row at the bottom, I can just say Insert Below, and it'll automatically keep the style and formatting, insert a new row for me. And in this case, I'm going to call this my total row. Go back to my design button and select total row. And that makes a lot more sense that I now have totals. You can also choose to split particular cells. So for example, let's say I would like to split this cell into 2 cells, but keep the rest of my formatting exactly the same. I can choose to split that cell to have 2 columns and 1 row, which will give me a split cell. You can also choose to split your table, auto-fit it, change the sizing of your various cells, alignment and text direction, and then also over here you can choose things like repeating of header rows, converting your entire table to text, and sorting your data.